Have you ever sent her a text and then stopped replying? Not because you're angry, not because you're playing games, but because you wanted to see what happens. The truth is, the moment you go silent, something extraordinary begins inside her mind. And I'm not talking about what she says out loud. I'm talking about the thoughts that keep her awake at night, the questions she doesn't want to admit, the doubts and desires that start swirling uncontrollably. Silence is more than just a pause. It's a mirror that reflects everything she has been feeling, everything she has been questioning, everything she thought she understood about you. And here's the thing most men never realize. Her mind doesn't just wander, it spirals. She starts replaying every word you've said, every laugh, every touch, every moment where she thought she had a read on you. She begins analyzing, decoding, overthinking, sometimes to the point of obsession, and it all starts the instant you stop feeding the predictable rhythm of communication. You might think silence is passive. You might believe that if you don't reply, she'll forget or move on or think you don't care. But psychology says otherwise. When a woman is emotionally invested, your absence isn't empty. It's loud. Her brain immediately seeks to resolve the gap, to fill the silence with meaning. She asks herself, did I do something wrong? Did I push too hard? Why isn't he replying? Does he even notice me? Every question spirals into a mental movie, and in that movie, you are always the main character. And it's not just her mind. Her body reacts too. The uncertainty triggers the release of stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, that make her heart race, make her pay attention to every little detail about you, make her memory sharpen for every interaction you've had. What you see as simple silence, what you see as taking a step back, is actually creating a storm inside her, a storm that she can't control, a storm that pulls her attention back to you like a magnet. But this isn't manipulation. This is pure human psychology. A woman's mind is wired to seek connection, to crave understanding, to make sense of her feelings. And when you stop providing immediate answers, when you create a pause, you allow her mind to do what it naturally does best, focus on you. Suddenly, she starts to remember everything she loves about you, everything that made her feel alive, everything she might have been taking for granted. That's why some of the most intense attraction grows in the quiet spaces between messages, between calls, between visits. Here's the key you need to understand. Silence isn't about control, it's about creating presence. The space you give isn't emptiness, it's a stage for her mind to dance. Every thought she has about you, every emotional spark, every moment of doubt turning into desire is built in the silence you craft. And when she finally hears from you again, it isn't just a reply, it's a relief, a validation, a confirmation that she matters to you. This is where most men fail. They think the game is in talking more, in proving more, in chasing harder. But the real power, the kind that makes her stop in her tracks, the kind that turns uncertainty into longing, lies in the pause, in the quiet, in letting her mind work for you instead of you working for her attention. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop responding, her energy changes? Not just slightly, but dramatically. One minute she's casual, laughing at your jokes, texting without thought. The next, she's analyzing every pause, every word, every little detail she once ignored. That's the silent power you hold when you step back, not by force, not by trickery, but by understanding human desire at its core. When you go quiet, her mind doesn't just wait, it strategizes. She begins to replay all your interactions like a film she can't stop watching. That smile you gave her last week, the way you listened intently to something trivial she said, even the small gestures she didn't think mattered. They start to matter. And every little memory is amplified because now there's a gap, an empty space where your presence should be. And humans, especially women, are wired to fill gaps. Her mind searches for meaning, and in doing so, it fixates on you. You need to understand something crucial here. She is no longer just thinking about you. She is feeling you. Anxiety mixes with desire. Curiosity intertwines with longing. Her imagination becomes a landscape of possibilities, all centered on you. And here's the subtle truth most men miss. Desire doesn't grow from certainty. It grows from unpredictability. The more your reactions surprise her, the more her brain releases dopamine, the anticipation chemical, making her feel alive, alert, and intensely drawn toward you. Now imagine this. You haven't messaged for a day, maybe two. She notices your absence immediately, and somewhere inside, a tiny alarm goes off. Where is he? What is he doing? Does he even care? That alarm triggers her mind to focus entirely on you. Every memory, every feeling, every unfinished conversation becomes magnified. The desire she might have been casually feeling now transforms into something more urgent, more electric. And the fascinating part is, she doesn't even consciously realize this is happening. Her heart reacts before her mind catches up. This is why silence works where words often fail. Because words, no matter how charming, are temporary. They can be ignored, forgotten, or lost in routine. But absence, when applied strategically, is permanent in her mind. It forces her to confront what she feels without distractions. It creates tension, anticipation, and longing. Emotions far stronger than any compliment or message you could send. And here's the paradox. She might even convince herself she's overthinking, that she's being dramatic, that you don't matter, but her brain doesn't lie. Every pulse, every thought, every spike in attention is a subconscious reminder. She wants to know you, she craves your presence, and she is emotionally hooked. You're probably wondering if this is manipulation. Let me be clear. It's not about control or deceit or games. It's about understanding dynamics that naturally exist in attraction. Silence doesn't create obsession, it allows her natural attraction to emerge. It's about giving her the space to recognize your value, to feel your absence, and to chase her own curiosity about you. So the question is, can you step back without fear, without insecurity, and let her mind do the work you usually try to force with words? Because the moment you can do that, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop explaining, you stop proving yourself. And suddenly, she's the one wondering, thinking, longing, and without even realizing it, pulling herself closer to you. Let's talk about what really happens inside her when you disappear for a moment. I'm not talking about casual curiosity. This is deeper. This is her emotions accelerating, her heart rate rising, her mind racing in a way that she cannot control. When you pull back, the part of her brain responsible for reward and attachment, the limbic system, lights up. Every memory of you, every laugh, every glance suddenly floods her with emotion. This is biology. This is chemistry. This is primal human wiring in action. Her mind begins creating stories. She imagines you with someone else, or she wonders if you've been thinking of her. And here's the thing, she doesn't just imagine these stories casually, she feels them. The anticipation triggers adrenaline. Her thoughts become sharper, her focus intensifies, and even tiny details, like a text she once sent that went unanswered, or a laugh you shared, become monumental. What might seem like a harmless pause to you is, for her, a storm of uncertainty and desire. This is where men often sabotage themselves. Most men believe that attraction is about constant presence, about sending the right message, about chasing until they feel secure. But what they don't realize is that attraction is fueled by tension, uncertainty, absence. When you remove yourself from the equation even briefly, she fills the gap with you, your qualities, your humor, your confidence magnified in her mind. That is why she remembers the little things you did that she took for granted. That is why she begins to crave your attention instead of scrolling past it. And it isn't just mental. Her body responds too. Dopamine, the chemical that makes us feel pleasure and anticipation, spikes every time she thinks about you. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises when she feels unsure. Her heart beats faster, her focus sharpens, her emotional radar is on overdrive. In simple terms, she becomes more present, more alive, and more attuned to you than she would be if you were constantly there. Your silence is literally rewiring her attention and desire. The key to understand here is that this effect works only when your silence is paired with authentic self-assurance. If you go quiet because you are angry, jealous, or insecure, it backfires. She senses the neediness and the spell is broken. But when your silence comes from a place of calm, confidence, and control, it becomes magnetic. You are no longer a man she can analyze easily. Your absence creates a psychological pull that she cannot resist. This is why the strongest attraction is rarely built in words. It is built in gaps, in pauses, in the quiet moments where she is forced to confront her feelings and desires without distraction. Most men never reach this stage because they are too busy talking, explaining, justifying, or chasing. But when you master the art of letting her mind do the work, you allow her attraction to grow naturally, and it grows stronger than any text, gift, or compliment could create. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you let silence do the work for you? When was the last time you allowed her mind to chase, to imagine, to feel what she cannot control? Because that is the difference between a woman who is mildly interested and one who is intensely captivated by you, thinking about you even when you're nowhere in sight. Now that you understand the storm you create when you go silent, it's time to talk about how to use it wisely. Silence alone is not enough. It's the stage, not the play. The magic happens when you return, calm, confident, and in control. Because the moment you reappear, her mind explodes with relief, curiosity, and anticipation. She's been living in the tension you created, replaying your moments together, wondering if you care, and now she's ready to pay full attention. Here's the truth most men never learn. The first words you speak after your absence are amplified exponentially. A simple "hey" or "I was thinking about you" becomes electric. It's not the words, it's the context. The silence you maintained makes your presence a reward, a gift she's been subconsciously craving. And when you act with authenticity, without over-explaining or apologizing for your absence, you transform uncertainty into desire, longing into excitement, and curiosity into emotional investment. You might be thinking, isn't this dangerous? What if she's upset? And here's the insight. A woman's initial frustration is often a sign of her emotional engagement. If she didn't care, she wouldn't notice. The intensity of her reaction, whether anxiety, curiosity, or excitement, is a reflection of the pull she feels toward you. The key is to remain grounded, to approach her like a man who knows his value, and to let her emotions meet your stability. That contrast, her heightened energy against your calm control, is magnetic. The other secret few men recognize is that silence combined with selective engagement builds trust and intrigue simultaneously. When you stop reacting to every message instantly, when you allow her mind to process, imagine, and anticipate, you teach her that you are not just available. You are worth attention, and the deeper the emotional tension, the stronger the attraction becomes. It's not manipulation, it's natural psychology. You're leveraging the way desire, attention, and emotional investment work. And here's what will blow your mind. This dynamic works whether she's already deeply interested or just casually curious. Even a woman who seemed distant or distracted will start paying attention because her mind is now actively trying to resolve the question, what does he feel? Does he even care? You've effectively shifted her mental focus entirely onto you. She is now chasing the mystery you've created, craving clarity, yet unable to resist the pull of your confident silence. So here's the final challenge I want you to leave with. Ask yourself, in this dynamic between presence and absence, silence and engagement, attention and curiosity, what role are you really playing in her mind? Are you the man she thinks about when she's bored, or the man who occupies her thoughts when she can't sleep? Think about this equation: your silence plus her mind's obsession, maximum attraction. I want you to write your answer to this in the comments. Reflect on how you can use this principle wisely, not recklessly. If this spoke to you, hit that like button, share this video with a friend who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more insights into female psychology, attraction, and self-mastery. Your next move isn't in what you say, it's in how you create space, mystery, and anticipation. Use it well, because the right silence can make her mind and her heart follow you in ways words never could.